What's up, y'all? Tonight we're going to discuss the importance of leading by example to set a standard for the younger Christians to grow in. So we're going to go to 2 Thessalonians 3. It says, "For yourselves know how ye ought to follow us, for we behave not ourselves disorderly among you." Because as, Christians that might be a little farther and along in our walk than others, we're held to a really high standard. We're held to the standard of Jesus Christ. So, we have to just exemplify Christ-like behavior. It doesn't just stop with, reading the ministry and doing Bible study and being a good person in church. We got to take it a step further and exemplify that behavior onto the world so that the people that's looking under us, they can see what it's like to be a real Christian, as far as being respectful, as far as being empathetic, as far as being humble, walking with integrity and dignity and just supporting each other and loving each other. So when people come around and they might be interested in joining your churches and things like that, they'll be more open and they'll feel more welcome because they feel the love, they feel the Holy Spirit, they feel the genuineness in how we walk in the seriousness and how we take, being disciples of Jesus Christ. And even with Paul in this verse, he was kind of talking to the Thessalonians, the younger churches, kind of about not accepting money from them. And he was going to do his tent making thing, because he wanted to just set a hard working example for them to follow, as far as walking with integrity and always understanding that you got to get it out the mud sometimes. So, Paul wasn't going to be a burden to them. And he made sure that he set the best example that he possibly could as being hard working to them as possible. That's something that we always need to be aware of as Christians. We always got the younger people watching, even the people that are not believers. We always got them watching. We want to always make sure that Christian, religious name is always being walked in the best way that we possibly can.